Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just take a look at the extended tornado threat heading into portions of the Gulf Coast in Mississippi here, guys. We're definitely taking a look at Gulfport, Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, Long Beach, and Biloxi as well into Ocean Springs. We definitely have two very, very strong couplets forming on radar here. One is down to the southwest. And this definitely looks to be a very, very strong storm, guys. You can definitely see it here, this nice couplet of rotation. This is over open water currently. Definitely a lot of lightning surrounding this storm. But if you guys definitely take a look at this, it is going to go into Gulfport, Mississippi. So definitely this is a potentially dangerous situation. And you could definitely take a look at over here near Bay St. Louis. This storm is actually heading into that general direction as well, into Gulfport. So you have two storms that are potentially extremely tornadic storms heading into that area. Let's take a look at this tornado warning. It expires in 34 minutes. So the National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a tornado warning for central Harrison County in southern Mississippi and southeastern Hancock County. This extends into 5:45 p.m. tonight, guys. At 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 7 miles east of Pearlington or 7 miles southwest of Waveland, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. The hazard is tornado, radar indicated rotation. This danger storm will be near Waveland around 5:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely looks like it is over that area at the moment. Long Beach around 5:35, Diamond Head around 5:20. In Lyman around 5:40, Gulfport and Biloxi around 5:45. So you guys got about a half an hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour to prepare for this storm. If you live in Gulfport and Biloxi, very, very populated areas, guys, this is a potentially dangerous situation. It definitely looks like this storm is intensifying, both of these, especially this one down to the south. There's definitely a waterspout action going on here. Let's take a look at the reflectivity. You can definitely see it does look like a little bit of a mess here, but we can discern some interesting features, especially the storm near Bay St. Louis. So if you guys are in that area, as well as Waveland, all the way up through Timber Ridge, Pass Christian, De Lisley, I think maybe, Jones Mill, Long Beach, Gulfport, Mississippi City, White Harbor, definitely get in your tornado shelter, guys. This is a very, very dangerous storm. You can see that the radar image reflectivity here is definitely showing that rotation. We can take a look at this image. Let's see here. So definitely take a look at the 3D image of this, guys. So you can definitely see this line is very, very kinked. But this is heading into Gulfport and Biloxi. So guys, if you guys haven't made your preparations, definitely get in a tornado shelter immediately. This is over Bay St. Louis, Waveland. You're still in the action here, so do not come out of your shelter just yet. But yeah, Long Beach, Gulfport, all the way through Biloxi into Ocean Springs, guys. We have two very, very big cells getting ready to converge here. Let's take a look at the velocity measurements again. You can see a very, very strong couplet of rotation here. So we'll definitely take a look at that right in here, guys. This is a water spout, definitely offshore. If it is to the southwest or southeast of Gulfside and southwest of Ansley. But this is definitely a very, very strong couplet on radar, and as well as heading into Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, White Harbor, Timber Ridge, Jones Mill, Long Beach, Gulfport, West Gulfport, Hansborough, Debise, heading into Biloxi. So very populated areas, guys. And you guys are under a tornado warning from this system. You can see this couplet is intensifying. Let's check the correlation coefficient to see if we have a tornado on the ground. It does look like a little bit is being kicked up, but it doesn't look at the moment that there is a tornado on the ground at this point in this particular area. But this storm is definitely capable of producing a tornado. All the severe weather ingredients are there today, especially down through New Orleans. And unfortunately, it does look like New Orleans was impacted by a pretty strong tornado. I do not have any data on the exact measurement, but from the pictures I've seen, it looks to be about EF1, maybe EF2 damage. So definitely pray for the people of New Orleans, especially on the southeastern side of New Orleans. So dark waters, definitely. If you're listening to this, I hope that you are definitely doing okay after these storms came through, and everybody living in New Orleans as well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your families. But this storm here, heading into Bay St. Louis, just right over top of you guys, is a very, very strong tornado potential here. Definitely heading into Gulfport and Biloxi and into West Gulfport. And it looks like Wool Market, Colville, Orange Grove. Definitely be in your tornado shelter. This is a very, very, very intense storm. Tornado warning expires in 20 minutes. Just to reiterate, guys, at 5:11 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was over Waveland, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So this storm will be on you relatively quickly. This danger storm will be near Bay St. Louis. Looks like it is around that area right now, impacting Diamond Head around 5:20. So you guys have about 4 minutes to get into your tornado shelter. Please do so immediately. Definitely please heed the warnings. This is not a storm to play with, guys. This storm is very, very strong. And looks like Long Beach around 5:35. So you guys have about 14 minutes, 10 to 14 minutes to get into your storm shelter. Lyman as well at 5:40. Gulfport and Biloxi around 5:45. So guys, this is a very, very dangerous storm. It is heading into very, very densely populated areas along the Gulf Coast here. And we also have this storm coming up from the south as well. This one is going to take aim at Gulfport, between Gulfport and Biloxi. This storm definitely has a lot of rotation with it as well. You can see this massive couplet on velocity measurements. There is definitely a massive water spout out there, guys. So definitely be very, very aware of this situation. It does look like this couplet is tightening up. It's to the south of Diamond Head and to the northwest of Bay St. Louis, heading into Timber Ridge, Jones Mill, Landon, Orange Grove, right up through West Gulfport. So you guys live in these areas, definitely please heed these warnings. Get into your tornado shelter. If you're driving, please pull over and get to a safe place immediately, a sturdy building. And then definitely shelter in place as the storm comes over. You definitely don't want to be caught out in a storm like this. This is a very, very, very intense storm. You can definitely see the rotation here, guys. We're starting to get a very strong couplet on radar here. It looks like very broad, but then you get so here's the meso, and you definitely have this smaller circulation right in here, guys. So it looks like Bay of St. Louis up through Cuvas. Lisley, definitely for sure getting in on the action here. But if you guys are to the northeast of Bay St. Louis, please, please, please get in your tornado shelter. This is a very, very intense storm. Correlation coefficients, not showing anything right now, but it definitely looks like it's going to pick up in intensity here. All the signs are pointing to that. I mean, it looks like a mess of a storm, but definitely please heed the warnings. And the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended as well until 5:45 p.m. So at 4:57 p.m., a severe thunderstorm is located near Burlington, or 9 miles southwest of Waveland, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gusts are definitely in this storm as well. And we can take a look at the hail, see what kind of hail we're expecting from this monster storm. And right now it looks like at least we can say that the hail is on the lighter side. It does look like about dime size, possibly up to nickel size hail in this storm, but definitely 60 mile per hour wind gusts and a potential tornado. Definitely not out of the question here, especially over Bay St. Louis. So if you live to the northeast and east of Bay St. Louis, all the way through Long Beach, Gulfport, over through Biloxi into Ocean Springs, please heed the warnings of this storm. This is a very, very intense storm. And if you look to the south, it looks like these two storms are interacting. So we have one right over Bay St. Louis, and we have one out over the open water. The one to the south is producing a very, very prominent water spout, which will come ashore to the east of Gulfport. If it does stay maintained here, guys, it's definitely going to interact with the eastern portions of Gulfport. So definitely, please get to your tornado shelters. Storms like this are very intense. And as I said earlier, unfortunately, New Orleans and southeastern portions of New Orleans were impacted by a pretty strong tornado. It is very unfortunate to see. Justin and I definitely predicted an event like this happening, especially in these areas with the very high moderate risk of severe weather. Um, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in New Orleans, especially those impacted by this storm. If you do have family living down in New Orleans, definitely contact them. I'm not sure what the power grid looks like there. I did see that over 10,000 people were without power, so it's definitely an unfortunate situation. And we do hope that that power gets restored as soon as possible. Definitely try to stay off the streets if you can. Let emergency crews do their job, guys. Definitely let them clear the roads. Don't try to venture out at this point. Debris is littered everywhere. So definitely, please take the warning seriously. And let's take a look at velocity measurements, see what we got going on. And we do have this very tight couplet down over the open waters to the south and southeast of Bay St. Louis. You can definitely see this very prominent here. This is a very strong water spout. Definitely a very strong storm. I'm actually surprised right now that they're not issuing a tornado warning out ahead of this storm. They do have a special marine statement. Take a look at that. This is for Chandler Sound, coastal waters from Pascagoula, Mississippi to State Island out 20 nautical miles. Lake Bourne, Mississippi Sound as well. So severe thunderstorm capable of producing waterspouts, moving northeast at 35 knots. Waterspouts and wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So if you are on the water right now, definitely come ashore and definitely find a safe place. Indeed, this radar does look very intense. It looks extremely intense. Unfortunately, it does look like both of these storms here are intensifying. You can start to see that there is a even stronger couplet forming down to the southeast of Diamond Head and to the north of Bay St. Louis. This storm is headed towards Jones Mill, New Hope, Landon, West Gulfport, Long Beach. And you do have this storm down to the south as well, producing what looks to be a major intense waterspout. This is going to head towards Gulfport into Biloxi, and this storm as well, back off to the west, is definitely heading into that same area. So let's see here. Let's get a timing. Diamond Grove and Gulfport looks to be about the same time, guys. So these two storms may converge over the Gulfport and West Gulfport area, and eventually heading into Wool Market, Cedar Lake, and definitely into looks like Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare Systems. You guys definitely watch out there. And up into Latimer and Martins Pine Hill Estates. It looks like the tornado warning has been extended just slightly to include the city of Biloxi. So definitely, if you guys live in Gulfport, Biloxi, or if you know anybody that lives in these areas, please give them a phone call. Get any use any form of communication to get in contact with them and tell them to get in their tornado shelter immediately. This is definitely a very dangerous situation. So we have two potential tornadoes. One is a water spout at the moment. This one here down to the south. This one is possibly tightening up, getting ready to drop a tornado here to the north of Bay St. Louis. We can take a look at correlation coefficients. And it doesn't look like there is anything on the ground here to the north of Bay St. Louis just yet. And let's see here. Definitely looks like a lot of heavy rain. This could be a very intense rain-wrapped tornado, especially to the north of Bay St. Louis. So guys, you won't see this thing coming. Unfortunately, it'll be on top of you before you even know it. It is moving at looks to be 40 miles per hour. So a tornado moving at that speed, it's very hard to outrun this. So please do not try to outrun this storm. Definitely shelter in place. Definitely get in the lowest level of an interior building. Um, get away from windows. Try to create as much space between you and the outer walls as possible. But this storm is very, very strong, and it looks like the storm to the south that is over open water is intensifying as well. Take a look at the velocity measurements one more time, and man, that is just insane. This velocity measurement is absolutely insane. Just to the south of Pass Christian, guys. This will come ashore between Gulfport and Dubai's into Hansborough. So definitely be on the lookout for a strong water spout coming in, guys. This could even impact all the way to the east of Biloxi as well. But this storm here to the north of Bay St. Louis is definitely going to impact Gulfport, Biloxi, Wool Market, Cedar Lake, West Gulfport, and also Gulfport, Biloxi International Airport, guys. So if you guys are in that area, please take shelter immediately. This storm will be on top of you very, very quickly. You have about, I'd say, maybe 10 more minutes to prepare. So definitely get into your tornado shelter. But this storm to the south is definitely intensifying even further. So I wouldn't be surprised if they issued an even possibly a PDS tornado warning on this particularly dangerous situation into Dubai's and Biloxi and into Gulfport as well. Long Beach, you're still in the tornado warning here, guys. Timber Ridge, Pass Christian, Jones Mill, New Hope, Landon, Orange Grove, Wool Market, Cedar Lake. So off to your west and southwest, you have two very, very strong storms coming into the area. Man, this is just an immense setup today, guys. It's just absolutely insane. Especially the amount of flooding. I mean, look at some of these rainfall totals. Let's take a look back at New Orleans, guys. So between 1.5 and 2 inches of rain have already fallen in the area. Expected rainfall rate is 2 to 3 inches in 1 hour in the city of New Orleans. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. So flash flooding is ongoing. This includes Orleans Parish, northwestern St. Bernard Parish, and north central St. Charles Parish in southeastern Louisiana. So New Orleans, Harvey, Chalmette, Marrero, Timberland, all these areas here, guys. I can highlight these areas for you. These are within a flash flood warning. So definitely a lot of rainfall has fallen, and unfortunately this is in some of the same areas that tornado impacted earlier. Unfortunately, from the pictures I've seen, from a few people that have sent in pictures, it does look like EF1 to EF2 damage, and I did hear of 3 fatalities, unfortunately, in the area. It's just not a good situation, guys. But if you are in New Orleans at this point, please remain indoors if you can. I understand that you probably want to get outside, walk around, view the damage, and try to get out of the area, but definitely remain indoors if you can, because you definitely don't want to become a hazard out there, guys, and you definitely don't want to get hurt to any of the hazards that are out there, nails, debris, glass, anything like that. So definitely be on the lookout in the New Orleans area, guys. It does look like the circulation north of Bay St. Louis, the tornadic circulation has weakened slightly, but this water spout out here, guys, just to the southwest of Long Beach, this is going to come into Gulfport, Hansborough, Dubai's, all the way to Biloxi. This definitely looks like a very, very strong couplet on radar, or on velocity measurements, I should say. Just zooming in on that, you can see lots of lightning in the area, but it's definitely tightening up, guys. You can definitely see it here. Let me see if we can pinpoint some of this data. 60 mile per hour and against 22, and it does look like a little bit more rotation is forming on the backside of this system. Just right in here, guys. Very weak rotation, and then as you move into the center of the storm, stronger rotation. So this is definitely not a good situation. Radar does look a little messy right now, but some of these tornadoes can definitely be mixed in within some of these lines here, guys. Let me see if I can go get some of these wind tornado reports here. Let's see here. That's interesting. I'm surprised. It's weird. It's not showing up at the moment. Alright, guys. Looks like Gulfport, Long Beach. You guys are in the, you guys are under the gun at the moment. Memorial Hospital at Gulfport, definitely under the gun for sure. Still in a tornado warning. This is still radar indicated. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. Get some reflectivity data, or sorry, some velocity data here. And you can see this big water spout definitely almost coming ashore to the south of Long Beach, and then it looks like even more rotation. This may be the actual mesocyclone here, right in here, guys. It looks like there's a strong couplet to the south. This may be a anticyclonic tornado, and or water spout, I should say. And then south of Long Beach would be where the cyclonic tornado or water spout would be. So it's definitely two areas of concern here. Definitely coming into Gulfport, Biloxi, Dubai's Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare System, the Iberville, Ocean Springs, Cedar Lake, Wool Market, Colesville. Yeah, guys, if you guys are in Long Beach, just to your south, you may have a water spout coming ashore, and also to the southwest of Gulfport as well. So this is definitely very strong rotation, guys. And it looks like near Pass Christensen, there may be a tornado hiding in here, but it looks like that tornado is still radar indicated. Doesn't look. I don't see any signs of a tornado actually on the ground. We do have this bound weak echo region here, just to the south of I-10. The guys, Gulfport, Long Beach. You guys are Long Beach is definitely getting in. Definitely under the gun here. Gulfport about to be under the gun in about a minute or two. Heading into Hansborough, Edgewater Park, Mississippi City, all the way through North Biloxi, Ocean Springs. So guys, definitely please heed the warnings. You guys are still under a severe thunderstorm warning as well as a tornado warning. So if you have not gotten to your shelter, please do so immediately. This storm is definitely not a storm to play with. It is a very strong storm. Just look at this couplet down here to the south of Long Beach. We can get a distance measurement on that just to see how far that is. Let's see here. So that couplet is about, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely not very far away, guys. It's only about 10 or 15 miles to the south of Long Beach. So it's definitely a very strong storm. Gulfport, guys, definitely please be in your shelter. Biloxi, now is the time to prepare. You are getting some light to moderate rain. However, to your west and southwest, you have a potential of a water spout coming ashore, forming into a tornado, and you have potential of 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail, possibly up to quarter-size hail. Definitely can't rule that out. It definitely looks like a tornado and a water spout definitely possible here. Let's take a look at the velocity, and oh yeah, we got massive rotation values here, guys. So we have winds going away, winds incoming. We have 20 next to 51. It's definitely an intensifying storm for sure. Just to the south of Long Beach, southwest of Gulfport. So please, guys, if you haven't gotten to your safe place, or to your tornado shelter, or an interior room, away from any windows, or your basement, cellar, please do so now until this storm passes. So Dubai's, Biloxi, Ocean Springs, the Iberville, Hansborough. I do apologize if I butcher some of these names. Look at that tight couplet here, guys. This is exactly what we're looking for right here. So that's definitely where a water spout would definitely be situated here. Very strong. It even looks like this is a very interesting inflection point as well, with the inflow coming in. So definitely tons of moisture and very warm temperatures feeding this storm to the south of Gulfport. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I'm actually surprised right now that they haven't issued a tornado warning on this cell. It is an extremely strong cell. Gulfport, you guys are still under a tornado warning. You got about 15 or 20 minutes until the storm passes, and then you still have a little bit of light rain, moderate rain to your southwest. Just take a look at some of these storms down here, guys, as well. Even down towards Port Sulphur, another tornado warning in effect. This is to the north of Happy Jack, so definitely please be in your safe area as well. Let's see here. This looks like it'll probably become another water spout and eventually go towards Pascagoula, guys, and Moss Point later on. That's probably going to be about 2 hours from now there. This giant kinked line down here. This is a massive QLCS, a quasi-linear convective system. So it's definitely got all these kinks and bookend vortices in here as well. And let's see here. Looks like the radar image has updated. Let's take a look at the velocity measurements. And oh yeah, there's definitely Gulfport. Please get in your safe place immediately. Definitely looks like there is a very strong water spout just to your southwest. As this storm comes inland, this may form into a pretty strong tornado. So guys, if you are outdoors, we definitely recommend getting indoors immediately, as fast as you can. So this is definitely a developing, potentially dangerous situation just to the south of Long Beach and over towards DeBise and Hansborough. So if you're between Long Beach and Hansborough, please get into your safe place. Even Biloxi, be on the lookout. You guys are going to get impacted by a very, very strong, severe thunderstorm. And it wouldn't surprise me if they actually put a tornado warning on here. They just have a special special marine statement. Water spouts and wind gusts to 40 knots. Water spouts can quickly form and capsize boats, damage vessels and oil rigs, and create suddenly higher waves. Make sure all on board are in a secure location wearing life jackets. Expect wind gusts in excess of 34 knots and suddenly higher waves. Boats could sustain damage or capsize. Make sure all on board are wearing life jackets. Return to safe harbor if possible. So it definitely looks like a very, very strong developing situation here, especially to the south and southwest of Gulfport. I mean, that is a massive couplet on radar. This is just extreme, guys. Just waiting for this. Looks like Keesler Air Force Base definitely getting in on the action here very, very soon. But if you guys know anybody in Biloxi, please give them a call. Let them know that they have to get to their tornado shelter as soon as possible. Cedar Lake, Wool Market, Ocean Springs, Martins Pine Hill Estates. Definitely give them a call and make sure you warn them about this storm. This is definitely a developing situation. Very, very strong indeed. We have a little bit of a microburst activity going on down here. So it's definitely a very evolving situation. This just went over, looks like, Bob's Lakes. Man, this is very strong, guys. I just want to loop this a little bit. Let's go to 7 frames. Just loop this storm just to get it moving here. Oh yeah, just Gulfport, Hansborough. Definitely, please get into your safe shelter immediately. This storm is getting ready to come ashore. If you guys have any family down there in Gulfport, DeBise, Hansborough, West Gulfport, Biloxi, please give them a call and tell them to get in their shelter immediately. This is a very intense cell coming ashore. You can definitely see the rotation, definitely prevalent in this system. So it looks like a water spout will be coming ashore, probably just to the east of Gulfport. So we can take a look at that. Right along 90 here, guys. So East Beach Boulevard, through East Railroad Street, Mississippi City. So between Gulfport and Mississippi City, please be in your shelter immediately. as well as Edgewater Park and Biloxi, over to Ocean Springs and Fort Bayou Estates and Cedar Point site as well, Ocean Springs Hospital. Definitely be prepared for a very, very strong storm to impact the area. And for those wondering, yes, there was a confirmed tornado in New Orleans, unfortunately. It sort of reminded me of the one we had back in March. I'm not sure if this time was as strong as that one. I only got a few pictures in from a couple subscribers that live down in the area. But the pictures they sent in definitely look pretty telling. Definitely looks like an EF1 or an EF2 tornado. Definitely not a tornado to mess with. Hopefully there isn't any more loss of life in this situation. I heard that 3 people did lose their lives in New Orleans due to this tornado. It's definitely unfortunate. We never want to see people lose their life over severe weather. We always want to keep people prepared and informed. Man, this is very strong coming into Dubai's. Let me see if I can pull up radar scope as well. Oop, didn't want to do that. Definitely want to go to radar scope. Alright guys, let's see what kind of data radar scope can offer us. Looks like there is another tornado warning over to the east as well. Let's see if we can get the reflectivity and velocity values. So definitely a very strong couplet to the south of Gulfport. Definitely between Gulfport and Mississippi City, guys. This is definitely going to be a very strong water spout coming ashore. And just to move up to the north as well, definitely have a tornado warning up near Loosedale as well. This will be heading off towards Citronelle and Mount Vernon. Let's get a handle on this tornado warning. Alright, let's get out of radar scope for 1 second. It is kind of slowing down just a little bit. Yeah, guys, definitely to the south of Gulfport, all the way to Mississippi City, through Biloxi, Ocean Springs as well. Please be in your tornado shelter. This is a very, very strong water spout getting ready to come ashore here. Right along 90 and East Beach Boulevard towards East Railroad Street, Mississippi City. Up through Tea Garden Road, down through Cowan Road, as well as Anniston Avenue and Great Southern Golf Club as well, over through Dubai's and Hansborough. Gulfport Biloxi International Airport and West Gulfport going to get on the action as well. But definitely right here, guys, it looks like this water spout is coming ashore near Gulfport. And it looks like they just issued a brand new tornado warning on this cell. This includes, this is a very, very massive area. This includes Martins Pine Hill Estates, Latimer, Van Cleve, McCall Landing, all the way up through Hawley Landing, Wade, almost through Popetown here, Hurley as well. But let's take a look at this. Alright, National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Harrison County in southern Mississippi and northern Jackson County in southern Mississippi. So 2 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Gulfport, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. This is radar indicated rotation. This dangerous storm will be near Gulfport and Biloxi in 1 minute, guys. The Iberville around 6 p.m. So you guys have about 10 to 15 minutes. I would say 10 minutes to prepare. Ocean Springs, St. Martin, Gulf Mills around 6:05 p.m. Latimer around 6:10 p.m. Van Cleve around 6:25 p.m. and Wade and Hurley around 6:30 p.m. So other locations impacted by this tornadic storm include Gulfport Airport, guys. So this is definitely an unfolding danger situation here. It definitely looks like it's a very, very strong tornado getting ready to pass just to the south of Mississippi City as a water spout come ashore near Edgewater Park and Hansborough, near Dubai's, near Anniston Avenue, Switzer Road, Beach Boulevard, Pass Road. So guys, definitely be on the lookout for a very, very strong tornado. If you guys have family or friends in this area, definitely please give them a call. Let them know that they need to immediately move to their tornado shelter or safe place in their house. Get in a sturdy building if possible. You can't outrun this tornado, guys, so definitely do not try to drive away from this tornado, especially heading into these densely populated areas. You definitely do not want to try to outrun this thing. So please, please, please get to your tornado shelter immediately. This tornado warning is in effect for the next almost 50 minutes, guys. So you can definitely see the intensity of this storm. Gulfport, Biloxi, Cedar Lake, the Iberville, Martins Pine Hill Estates, Gulf Coast Veterans Health Care System, Keesler Air Force Base, up through Latimer, Van Cleve, McCall Landing, through 57 here, guys, up through Wade, Holly Landing, Old Americus, Popetown, Hurley, up through 63, where 63 crosses 614. So definitely, please, guys, get into your tornado shelter immediately as the system comes ashore. You can definitely see this very, very, very pronounced inflow notch here, guys. So it's actually interacting with the friction of the land and definitely producing a very, very possibly strong tornado here. Let's see if we can get correlation coefficient. Nothing just yet, but we are looking at very, very strong couplet on radar just to the south of Mississippi City, coming into Hansborough, Edgewater Park, right along I-90 there, right along Beach Drive and East Beach Boulevard. Definitely coming in Calvin Road, Anniston Avenue, Great Southern Golf Club, DeBise Road, Eisenhower Drive, Edgewater Park, all the way through Pass Road. So you guys are in this area. Switzer Road, Bernard Bayou, Atkinson Road, Pops Ferry Road, Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare System, guys. If you guys are in this entire vicinity, please get to your tornado shelter immediately. Here we go, guys. This storm is absolutely blowing up here. All right, so we have 53 miles per hour right next to, well, we have 53 right next to 55, 38 next to 22. Definitely some very strong winds on the southern side of the storm. Inflow is definitely playing a pertinent role in developing this tornado. 60 mile per hour winds from the south. Take a look at reflectivity. You definitely see this storm is being fed by the warm Gulf of Mexico waters here. Very, very high dew points, 69 degrees. So this storm is moving into an area and is being fueled very persistently by the warm Gulf waters. So near DeBise, Hansborough, Biloxi, Cedar Lake, the Iberville. Definitely, if you guys know anybody in this area, please give them a call. Let them know to get into their tornado shelter immediately. It's a very, very strong storm. Man, this thing is blowing up. So it looks like it's coming ashore just to the south of Hansborough. This is along East Beach Boulevard along I-90, Cowan Road, Anniston Road, Great Southern Golf Club, DeBise, Eisenhower Drive, Edgewater Park, Pass Road, Hansborough, Schweitzer Road, Atkinson Road, and Pops Ferry Road, up into North Biloxi as well, into Cedar Lake, Colville, Wool Market. This includes the city of Biloxi, the Iberville, Keesler Air Force Base, all the way up through Martins Pine Hill Estates, through Latimer, White Plains, So definitely this is a very persistent area. Very, very persistent storm. And here we go, guys. Just to the west of Dubai's and Edgewater Park, we definitely have this storm coming ashore. We do have a slight CC drop in the area, so the storm may be kicking up. Definitely some debris in the area, or some dust and sand, things like that. Massive inflow notch out ahead of this in Biloxi. Guys, the wind direction is probably coming up from the south and then switching very rapidly to the west towards the storm. So if you guys look off to your west, definitely can hear this storm coming for sure. Definitely get in your tornado shelter. This is definitely not a storm to play with. This storm is actually rocketing up to the northeast. We even have more storms down to the south as well. Let's take a look at the velocity measurements again. I do apologize for bouncing in and out of this, but this is definitely a very strong area. Just between Dubai's and Edgewater Park, this tornado is definitely, this waterspout is turning into a tornado coming ashore. Pass Road, Atkinson Road, all the way up through Wells Drive, North Biloxi, definitely in the bullseye of this system. Going through Pops Ferry Road, Cedar Lake Road, going across I-10 here, Cedar Lake, Old Highway 67, Wool Market Road, and Lamy Bridge Road, and Biloxi, the Iberville Scenic Expressway. Definitely looks like a very, very strong storm coming ashore, guys. Some CC dropped in North Biloxi there. It's definitely interesting to take a look at. We do have this bound weak echo region between North Biloxi and looks like 70 here. Where 70 crosses 110 up near Cedar Lake. So definitely in this area. You can see if I can highlight this. There we go. Right in this area, guys. Definitely have a bound weak echo region. Usually when we see that, that's an area that we definitely need to keep an eye on for tornado development. And it definitely looks like it is coming ashore. Let me just make sure that this hasn't updated on me. Man, the dew points are 69 degrees in this area. It's very, very potent fuel for this storm. Oh, you're very welcome. Definitely. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely very strong, guys. Wow. I need to see this here. Yeah, just around right around Edgewater Park, heading up to North Biloxi, Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare System, heading into Keesler Medical Center, Keesler Air Force Base, into the Iberville. I do apologize for butchering these names. Yeah, this is, wow, okay. Did they update? Let's see if they actually extended this a little bit. No, okay. No, they kept it at the same. So definitely, let's take a look at this tornado warning one more time, guys, just to get a feel of what's going on. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Gulfport, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So this tornado and storm will be on top of you very quickly. This is radar indicated rotation. However, the rotation values are showing that this system is definitely tightening up. Definitely getting its act together. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a tornado on the ground within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So it definitely looks like Gulfport, Biloxi in 1 minute. The Iberville around 6 p.m., guys. It's 5 minutes. Ocean Springs, St. Martin, and Gulf Hills around 6:05 p.m. Latimer around 6:10. Van Cleve around 6:25, and Wade and Hurley around 6:30. So please, if you guys haven't gotten your tornado shelters yet, please do so immediately. If you have family and friends in this area, please warn them that a tornadic supercell is heading in their direction. And there we go, guys. It has come ashore here, right in North Biloxi. Let's see here. Definitely looks like North Biloxi. There is a little bit of a CC drop, correlation coefficient drop here, guys. That's unfortunately not good news at the moment. It's not a very, very decent correlation coefficient drop. Let's take a look at, see if we can look at differential phase. So yeah, this is definitely intensifying for sure. Especially right to the southwest of Wool Market. We have a drop of 4.5 degrees per kilometer. And let's take a look at, see what we got going on. Oh yeah, we have some large hail as well, probably nickel to quarter size hail. Oof, very, very, very strong rotation here. So it looks like to be EF0, EF1 if it is on the ground at this point. This is going right over the, let me see here, try to zoom in just a little bit. Hopefully my voice sounds okay, guys. I do apologize. Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare System over Keesler Air Force Base, Meadows Drive, Keesler Medical Center, Irish Hill Drive, heading into North Biloxi, Pops Ferry, Cedar Lake, Old Highway 67, Biloxi, DeEberville Scenic Expressway, Lamy Bridge Road, Martins Pine Hill Estates, Tucker Road, Latimer, Joe Bat Road. Let's see if we can keep going just a little bit north. Wire Road, an intersection of 57 there. So this is definitely a very strong storm, guys. Wow. Jeez, look at that. Just to the west of Biloxi. That is not good, guys. That is not good at all. Especially right in here. That's definitely where this tornado would be situated at. Still have a lot of inflow ripping in from Ocean Springs into Biloxi. Let's see. Looks like there is a little bit of wraparound in here as well. So this storm is definitely still intensifying. Yeah, not good, guys. Not good for Cedar Lake, Martins Pine Hill Estates. Down through Biloxi, Ocean Springs. Let's take a look at the cloud tops here, guys. We're at 50,000 feet, so this is definitely sufficient in producing a very, very dangerous tornado. And let's take a look at the vertically integrated liquid or hail. So we're at 19.83 kilograms per meter squared. So we're looking at about nickel size hail, possibly up to quarter size. But right now it looks like definitely nickel size. There we go. We got the latest radar image. Wow. Wow. Very strong, very, very strong couplet forming there. Still going strong. Not much in the way of CC drops in the area. So hail probability 60%, max hail size. I don't agree with that max hail size. I definitely believe that there's probably some at least dime size to nickel size hail in this storm, and this does have a tornado vortex signature on it, guys. So definitely conditions are extremely favorable for tornado development here. Wow. It's becoming more of a QLCS or a quasi-linear convective system or a squall line. So definitely, it looks like the maybe long track tornado threat is over. But it definitely looks like there could still be brief tornadoes in here. They could definitely be very, very strong tornadoes. Let's see. DeEberville getting in on the action. Cedar Lake right in here. Let me try that one more time. Right in here, guys. So just between Cedar Lake and DeEberville, Ocean Springs, heading up towards Martins Pine Hill Estates. It looks like we are going through a bit of cycling here, so a little bit of a weakening trend on this storm. That's good news for sure. But this system can kick up anytime. We have that kink on the backside of this system. So we have some wind screaming in from the northwest. So definitely looks like this storm still has a good bit of inflow in it as well. If it does become an outflow dominant storm, the tornado threat will be decreasing. So hopefully that happens in this area. Hopefully we get a decreasing tornado threat. Unfortunately, as I stated earlier, the New Orleans area was impacted by a definitely strong tornado at that, for sure. We zoom in here, guys. It looked like it was near Gretna, Harvey, Marrero, Walkertown, West Wego, Garden District, Lower Garden District, Algiers, up through Holy Cross, Bywater, Lower Ninth Ward, and then it kept on going to the northeast, Lake Forest, east, Westlake, Plum Orchard, up through Dwyer Road, Inglewood, New Orleans East, definitely through Barrington Park, Lake Carmel, Tamaron. So definitely that tornado impacted these areas, and definitely still some flooding happening. There's a couple storms still developing here as well off to the east. Some of these storms can definitely be producing some water spouts as they go offshore. But it looks like the tornado threat may be waning in this area. Actually, I might have to take that back. Just looking at this new image, you can see we're starting to get some more of that hook shape in here, guys. Just confirm that with the reflectivity. And yeah, we are getting a little bit more of that hooking. Let me try that one more time. Right down in here, guys. So, let's see. Right here. It definitely doesn't look as strong as it did before, so that's good news. However, these storms can definitely re-intensify very, very quickly. So definitely through Martin's Pine Hill Estates, up through Van Cleve, all the way through Wade, and eventually making its way through Popetown and into Old Americus. Let me see here if we have any other watches and warnings currently ongoing. Oh yeah, we definitely have a tornado warning up here as well. This is near Jackson, Grove Hill. Let's take a look at this and see what we can see. 2 tornado warnings actually up here. Let's take a look at radar scope. So both these programs are very good. I definitely prefer Radar Omega over Radar Scope. Radar Omega is a little bit more expensive. I pay about $12.83 a month for Radar Omega. Radar Scope is $9.99 a year, so it's definitely more budget friendly. However, Radar Omega definitely has more features. You can have 3D radar. You can see street names, things like that. But let's take a look at this. Yeah, so definitely rotation is coming down here, guys, near St. Martin, up through Gulf, let's see here, Gulf Hills. So that's one good thing. At least the rotation signature is coming down slightly. Let me try to, I want to restart Radar Omega here for 1 second because it seemed like it was acting up. So sometimes you have to do this. But nevertheless, it's still a very good program. Definitely does the job. Definitely keeps us informed for sure. And just want to give a shout out to Dark Waters. Thank you for sharing that last video. I do appreciate that. I hope that you are doing okay in the New Orleans area. Like I said earlier today, there was definitely a pretty strong tornado that went through the area. So Dark Waters, hopefully you're doing okay, my brother. Let's see here. Let me get out of radar scope. That way we can focus more of the processing data on radar Omega. Yeah, it definitely looks like this storm is weakening slightly. Just right over Biloxi. So that's definitely good news. Still looks like broad rotation. It's very, very strong mesocyclone. As this system moves off to the northeast, it may redevelop. It does look like there is some inflow coming in from the south once again, definitely feeding this storm from the warm Gulf of Mexico waters. So we'll definitely have to keep our eye out for this storm, or on this storm, I should say. Holly Landing, Wade, up through Martins Pine and Hill Estates. Looks like there is a looks like the mesocyclone that was to the south is actually trying to reinvigorate or create a new one up to the north around Latimer. So we may see some energy transfer going on here. But yeah, it looks like the velocity values have come down. That's good news. And the reflectivity just looks like a mess, unfortunately. It's very hard to discern tornadoes in very, very high precipitation environments like this. Thankfully enough, we do have the tools at our disposal to figure out where this tornado would be located. So if we zoom in, we could definitely see there's some flow on the backside here. And we are getting this little bit of weak echo region here, as well as down here. But this one doesn't look too much of a threat down to the south. Definitely looks like to the north here is definitely looking more prominent. And we can show that by looking at the velocity. I know it looks like a mess, but I should probably explain a little bit. Maybe it would help understand. So definitely you can see the flow on the backside coming from Wool Market, Cedar Lake, definitely feeding into this system. And you could definitely see some warm Gulf of Mexico air feeding into the storm as well, providing the fuel and moisture and lift necessary to create the storm. Ocean Springs. But yeah, it definitely looks like there may be a new mesocyclone forming up here. Looks like the old mesocyclone down to the Iberville and Biloxi may be decaying. So the system is definitely trying to make a energy transfer to the northeast and to the north. So we'll definitely see what happens here as time definitely marches onward. There is a slight correlation coefficient drop, or CC drop, near Latimer, and just like that it disappeared. So we should be okay here. Yep, new mesocyclone definitely developing to the northeast of Latimer. So this area could potentially become the new parent for a definitely a brief tornado spin up here. We could definitely see how strong this tornado may be once rotation values start coming up just a little bit. And definitely right here, guys, you can see there is a little bit of an inflow notch coming in here. Still a bound weak echo region over Martins Pine Hill Estates. It is starting to form a little bit of the flying eagle configuration. That's what meteorologists call. You start to get, we'll zoom in a little bit. I have to zoom in like this. Okay. So you can see right here. Crap. Let me zoom out a little bit more. There we go. So this kind of looks like an eagle flying, if you will. You can see the beak right in this area coming down. And you can kind of see the wings spreading out slightly. So it's definitely not a very, very strong rotation here. But nevertheless, it is rotation, which is why this tornado warning is still continuing. But yeah, definitely new mesocyclone forming to the north of Martins Pine Hill Estates. This will be heading off towards Holly Landing to Old Americus as well. Let's see here. Definitely is crazy. Definitely crazy weather today, guys, especially for the deep south. Tomorrow we're actually heading into another severe weather day. So that'll definitely be interesting. I could take you guys through that if that's cool. Let's see, Gulfport, SPC. So you can see here, guys, the moderate risk. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. This extends from New Orleans all the way up through portions of central and southeastern Mississippi into southwestern and central Alabama, including Mobile as well. But that's for today, guys. Let's take a look at tomorrow. The severe weather advances off to the east. It honestly wouldn't surprise me that if this slight risk, if there is a little bit near Jacksonville here, becomes enhanced tomorrow. Definitely looks like this system is very, very, very strong. Let's take a look at this, guys. Severe thunderstorms will be possible over portions of southern Georgia into northern Florida Thursday morning and throughout the afternoon across portions of the Florida Peninsula. A few tornadoes and scattered damaging winds should be the main threats. And let's just highlight this and take out the most important parts here. So we will see mid-level perturbation is forecast to quickly shift eastward, which we are seeing now. Primary surface low will remain over the upper Midwest. Secondary low over Georgia, South Carolina Thursday morning should develop quickly eastward across the Carolinas, coastal southeastern Virginia Thursday evening. Broken line of thunderstorms will likely be ongoing at the start of the period across much of North Florida into Georgia. This is definitely along the cold front that we're taking a look at. Instability across Florida, so weak instability, mid to upper 60 surface dew points, so it's definitely a plethora of moisture and fuel. And we have some lift in place as well. This will support updraft rotation and threat for a few tornadoes as convection spreads eastward through the early afternoon hours. And let's take a look back at Biloxi here, guys. So yeah, there's definitely the new mesocyclone right here. It is weakening as well. So this storm is definitely coming down in intensity. So it's very good to see. And not very many CC drops here. If a tornado did develop, it would have been if a tornado coverage probably here to the east of Gulfport. So definitely be on the lookout by the media. Definitely let's see if a tornado actually formed here. I would definitely say it did. It was very brief to the east of Gulfport into Hansborough and Dubai's. And let's see. Let's take a look at the velocity measurements. Yeah, so it's definitely actually it looks like it's picking up in intensity once again. These storms are very cyclic, which means they actually go through a cycle. So basically a tornadic storm can drop a tornado, lift that tornado, become weaker, and then strengthen once again through recycling. So it looks like it is trying to recycle here. So we have the mesocyclone here with a little bit of rotation on the southwestern side of that. So this would be crossing 57, heading into southeastern Holly Landing into Old Americus, probably within the next 25 to 30 minutes. Let's see here. Actually, even slower than that. It looks like the storm actually has slowed down a bit. I do want to take a look at one article. Let's see here. This article I found earlier, guys. As the system tornado hits Gretna, moves towards Arabi. At least 3 people dead in storms across the state, unfortunately. Tornado touchdown in Gretna Wednesday, destroying homes and causing other damage there before crossing the Mississippi River and landing a second blow in Arabi, according to public safety officials, the National Weather Service, and reports from the area. Several homes on 9th Street in Gretna were crushed or pushed off their foundations by the tornado, which touched down a little before 4 p.m. The storm scattered debris across the streets and toppled a truck, which lay on its side in a front yard as residents surveyed the damage and checked on neighbors. Meanwhile, firefighters and other public safety officials searched through the damaged homes in Arabi. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where residents along Friscoville Avenue were in disbelief as they began recovery from the second tornadoes to hit their street in 9 months. So this is definitely referring back to the March 2022 tornadoes. It's terrible, St. Bernard Parish President Guy McInnes said in as he inspected the damage, it looks like we have significant damage. The electricity provider said that power was out for thousands of customers. Jefferson Parish Sheriff Joseph Lapinto said that he received reports of damaged homes and said that the roof was ripped off of the Sheriff's Office Training Academy building in Harvey, just off the West Bank Expressway near Maple Avenue. We've had reports of several collapsed houses. Gretna Police Chief Arthur Lawson said there was damage in the area of 9th and Dalhan Streets in Gretna. We've got extensive damage on the north side of the West Bank Expressway and through Old Gretna and Garden Park subdivision. In the 900 block of Dalholda, Tia Smith said she was about to step into her bathtub when the entire house shifted several feet off its foundation at the intersection of 10th Street and Huey P. Long Avenue in Gretna. Toya Progene surveyed the damage scattered by the storm. Trees were down, and the crumpled metal of a broken trampoline sat tangled in a clump of branches. We don't know where the trampoline came from, so it definitely wasn't theirs. And yeah, you could definitely see that house just shoved off of its foundation, guys, over here to the left. It looks like it extended right over here, so you can definitely see this stair would lead to this door. Unfortunately, that is not the case anymore. It looks like here's the trampoline that they were talking about. And Greta Mayor Belinda Constant was headed out to the scene at 4:15 to survey the damage. She urged residents to be safe and stay off the streets. We've got no electricity and we've got power lines down, so it's definitely not a good situation, guys. Almost 10,000 people without power in Jefferson Parish, mostly on West Bank as storms hit the metro area. Tornado is the second that was confirmed to have touched down in New Orleans metro area on Wednesday as a line of strong storms moved through the region. At least one person was killed and several were injured in St. Charles Parish. Parish President Matthew Jewell said search and rescue teams were going door to door in Kelowna, a neighborhood on West Bank that included a number of mobile homes. Unfortunately, it looks like mobile homes were impacted by this storm, guys. That's definitely not a good sign. 4 people were taken to the hospital by ambulance, Jewell said. And authorities have not identified the person killed. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and the people impacted by this storm. It's definitely heartbreaking to see the damage. It's definitely not a good sign, guys. I definitely hope that everybody in New Orleans is safe. If you guys have family down there, definitely please try to reach out to them and make sure they are okay. Definitely, if you live in New Orleans, guys, definitely look out for your neighbors. Make sure that everybody's safe. Check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure they're doing okay. It's definitely a very heartbreaking situation. So across Louisiana, at least 3 people have died and nearly 2,000 people were injured. A mother and a young boy were killed after a tornado hit their home in a rural community in North Louisiana. About 20 people were hospitalized in Union Parish. A reported tornado hit a hospital in New Iberia. At least 3 people were hospitalized with injuries. At least 1 person was killed and several were injured in St. Charles Parish. Wow. So this is produced by staff writers Matt Sledge, Ben Myers, Michelle Hunter, and Chad Calder. So thank you guys for producing this report. Definitely we pray for the people of New Orleans. Definitely God bless them. God, please place your healing hand over New Orleans in this time of need. Please give guidance to those people that have been impacted by this very, very dangerous storm. And please let those people definitely pull their lives together and definitely try to remain safe during this period as well. Try not to venture outdoors, guys. This is definitely a very, very, very intense situation. But definitely may God bless the people of New Orleans in this very, very trying time. And it looks like that tornado warning is still, actually that tornado warning has expired. It is now just a special weather statement, it looks like. So that's definitely good news. That system has weakened. Unfortunately, we do have another tornado warning to the north near Chatham, St. Stephen's, and Jackson. This is radar indicated, so 609. So this was about 11 minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles northeast of Tibby, 6 miles southeast of Chatham, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. This storm will be near, looks like that's happening currently, Wagerville and St. Stephen's. Leroy around 3:25 and Jackson around 6:30. So definitely, guys, please get in your tornado shelter if you live in this area as well. This looks to be portions of southwestern Alabama, and it looks like Selma, Montgomery, Valley Grande, Millbrook, Greenville definitely getting on the action later on today. And it looks like we have a couple of tornado warnings here as well. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at this northern one. Actually, these are severe thunderstorm warnings, aren't they? Yes. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. Nevertheless, this storm looks very intense here. Let's take a look at this one, guys. Severe thunderstorm warning issued at 5:59 Central Standard Time until 6:45 Central Standard Time. So about 25 more minutes of this storm remaining. Severe thunderstorm warning for western Jackson County and eastern Washington County in the Panhandle of Florida. Severe thunderstorm was located near Vernon, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, so a very slow mover. 60 mile per hour wind gusts. We'll definitely take a look at hail and tornado potential with this storm. Locations impacted include Vernon, Chipley, Marianna, Graceville, Bradford, Cottondale, Alford, Walsall, Richter Crossroads, Holmes Valley, Jacobs, Marina, Mahoma, Sylvania, Johnson Crossroads, Brock Crossroad, Jacob City, Chipley Chipley Municipal Airport, Orange Hill, and Kinesville. So let's take a look at the velocity values. Ooh, we might actually have a tornado forming here, guys, just to the north of Bradford. This will be heading into just to the northwest and west of Steel City. This is near Bell's Mill in Bradford. Correlation coefficient, let's take a look at that. A little bit of a CC drop, so I am not sure if there is a tornado or not, but all the signs actually point that there is tornado development going on here. Let's take a look at the vertically integrated liquid. So yeah, we're not looking at too much in the way of hail here. We're looking at about maybe dime to nickel size hail here. Let's take a look at the reflectivity once again. We do have a bound weak ecoregion as well. Right in here, it's very broad. That's possibly due to the mesocyclone. It looks like maybe that might be recycling. Let's take a look at the velocity again here. And yes, indeed, it is a recycling storm. It is a broad mesocyclone. It looks like that couplet has disappeared here, guys. So definitely good news. Hopefully this storm doesn't recycle to the point where it would produce a tornado. And let's take a look at this one down to the south. Severe thunderstorm warning issued at 6:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 7:45. So again, another 20 minutes left in this storm. Severe thunderstorm warning for Gulf County, southwestern Liberty County, in the Big Bend of Florida, western Franklin County as well, at 6:56 p.m. and 5:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles west of Port St. Joe to 20 miles south of Mexico Beach to 39 miles southwest of Apalachicola, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust, and we'll take a look at the hail as well. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Apalachicola, Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, it's hard to pronounce. Hitchka, Orange, Honeyville, Chipola Cutoff, 11 Mile, Odena, Cape San Blas, Indian Pass, Beverly, Milltown, Kern, Bay City, Willis Landing, Apalachicola Airport, Simmons Bayou, Hayes Place, and Del Keith. So let's take a look at the velocity here, guys. We do have a very strong couplet, and we do have a tornado warning now, guys. This is to the south of Brickyard and to the west of Fort Gadsden. Let's take a look at this. So this was just issued 3 minutes ago. Tornado warning, east central Gulf County in the Panhandle of Florida and northwestern Franklin County in the Big Bend of Florida. This is until 7:45. So at 7:19 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 13 miles northwest of Apalachicola, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard is tornado. Radar indicated rotation. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of east central Gulf and northwestern Franklin counties, including the following locations: Howard Creek, Willis Landing, Buck Siding, and Fort Gadsden. So guys, if you definitely live in those areas, please be on the lookout for tornadoes. Not much in the way of CC drop, especially since this is in a rural area, but we do have a very, very tight couplet here. So this is going between Brickyard and Fort Gadsden. Let's just try and zoom in on this. Yeah, it's definitely a brief spin up here, as expected. Let's take a look at the hail values here. Yeah, so we're looking at about the same nickel size, dime size hail in this storm. So I mean, not too much to write home about, at least in terms of hail. But the tornado, yes, absolutely. And let's see what else we got going on. Looks like we got a new tornado warning. And it definitely looks like these are very, very strong. At least this one down to the south. This one looks to be the stronger of the two. This is getting right into Deer Park, up through Seaboard, up through Uniform and Tibby. And it looks like broad rotation, eventually coming down to the surface as well. So not too much in the way. Let's take a look at CC. CC will definitely tell us. Looks like there is a little bit of a correlation coefficient drop, but not much. So it definitely looks like this is still mid-level rotation and maybe low-level rotation, but hasn't reached the ground yet. Not much in the way of hail at all in this storm. Let's take a look at this storm to the north. This is by St. Stephen's heading into Jackson. So this is the storm we were looking at a little bit earlier. Take a look at velocity. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a stronger couplet here. I'm surprised because the storm to the south looks a little bit stronger than this. Not much in the way of a CC drop. And about maybe penny size hail, dime size hail in this storm. So definitely be on the lookout, guys. Looks like... let's see here. Looks like we have another special marine warning down here, guys. This looks to be coming into Grand Isle, Louisiana, down to the south of Port Sulphur. So this definitely looks like a pretty strong line of storms. Right now it looks like a majority of these storms here down to the south of Port Sulphur are going to stay offshore. But we do have a few discrete supercells starting to develop just to the south of Moss Point, it looks like, and to the southwest or southeast of Gulfport. Very, very strong couplet. Looks like a very, very decent water spout. This looks to be Pascagoula. I hope I pronounced that right. To the southwest of Pascagoula. We will get a distance measurement on this just to see how far this storm is to the south. So it's about 34 miles to the south. It definitely looks like it will impact land around 8:07. So it's got a long while before that comes ashore. So definitely Biloxi getting out of the action there. Let me see if there's anything back off to the west here. Let's go back to New Orleans for 1 second. Just want to see. Looks like there's some more rain showers heading in. Let's see if we still have radar data out here. We should. At least I would assume that we do. Yeah, so not much in the way of precipitation left out here towards New Orleans, but definitely, guys, definitely pray for the people of New Orleans that were impacted by that tornado. Houses were pushed off their foundations. It looks like 3 people lost their lives to this storm. Unfortunately, it did look like a child's life was lost as well. So unfortunately, this is, the situation is very, very somber. So guys, definitely please keep New Orleans and the people of New Orleans in your thoughts and prayers as we go on throughout the evening. I definitely want to take a moment of silence for the people of New Orleans that were affected from this storm. All right, guys. Just also want to give a prayer to God at this point. So definitely, dear God, please, our Father in heaven, please definitely look over watch out over the people of New Orleans here. Definitely please place your healing hand over the city of New Orleans as they try to cope with the situation ongoing. Please keep the people of New Orleans safe. Please allow the rescuers to do their job and find the people that need to be found. And please do not let there be any more deaths in New Orleans, or find any deaths in New Orleans from this tornado. And definitely those impacted, please guide them. Please allow them to heal, and please give them guidance on how to move forward. And we definitely ask you, if they need any help, please reach out to family and friends. And we definitely thank you. Amen. Alright, guys, I'm probably going to jump off of here for a little bit, but I definitely appreciate you guys joining me. So definitely, Kathy, thank you. God's Son, definitely thank you very much. Aussie, thank you. And Dark Waters, thank you very much. And Dark Waters, I hope you're doing okay. Hopefully this storm didn't impact the area that you're in. Definitely please reach out if you need anything. Anybody in the Dark Waters family as well, if they need anything, please reach out. Alright, guys, thank you very much. And as we go on to the evening and overnight hours into tomorrow, definitely watch out for more severe storms in the Alabama area, into Florida as well, and into portions of even Georgia getting in on the action, and South Carolina. So definitely, guys, thank you for joining me.